Hey, what is going on, you guys? TujoPanda back in action. We're going to be talking about something else today, something gaming related. So, have you ever wanted to play a game that was so Slav that Putin himself would probably point at it and be like, this belongs in Gulag? Well, it's the best thing that I could possibly imagine having come out a couple days ago. It's been out for maybe less than a week. Apparently a teaser demo and a trailer was released a while back in October, but I hadn't learned about this until fairly recently. Nope, it's not Stalker 2, and it's not another Metro sequel. This is HROT, at least that's what I call it. It's actually just called HROT. It's a very bizarre game. Alright, so encapsulate everything that you would possibly imagine going into a game like from like the 90s, like a typical FPS shooter. So what the game does beautifully is it basically encapsulates the best features of like typical FPS shooters that you might have seen back in the 90s, like Duke Nukem, Quake, and various other like FPSs like that. And it does so in a very rapid, fast-paced, sort of action-packed, action-oriented game. You play as some, I don't know, I'm going to assume that you're a factory worker because your sleeves are rolled up and you're wearing some worker's gloves. And your only weapons to start off with are a Makarov pistol and a hammer and sickle. You don't use the hammer, you just use the sickle. But like, the game's certainly, how do I put this? Batshit insane. No, really. Watch some of these clips. So, I don't know what you saw, I don't know if you saw like enough of that or you could really soak it in, but the game is absolutely freaking bizarre. There's not really a whole lot to the story. The story alludes to the fact that a cataclysmic event happened in 1986, which if you have any sense of knowledge, or maybe you're a budding internet historian, you probably know that Chernobyl happened right about that time, and this game isn't really taking place in Russia. It's taking place in Czechoslovakia, which is fairly close to Russia, although I don't really know exactly where it is on the map because I suck at geography. But, that being stated, the game is absolutely balls to the walls insane and just bizarre as all hell. The only exposition that you can possibly get from this game is from interacting with various things like signs and like documents and other things like that in the level, and you can interact with pretty much anything that you would want to. For instance, there's like a Kushalaka doll. Well, I don't even know how you pronounce that or like what it's called, but there's like a doll, like you can just take it apart and put it back together. Apparently, whoever you are, like whether you're like a factory worker or a very dedicated Communist Party member, you kiss like paintings and shit like that, like a painting of Gorbachev, I'm assuming. Alright, so as far as like the actual quote-unquote story goes, you went down into like a radioactive, or I should say, you went into a fallout shelter. You were hiding down there, and when you came back out, there were a bunch of like weirdos in gas masks and like riot gear and built for combat, like environmental suits, that were armed to the teeth and trying to kill your ass. For what reason or purpose, I have no idea, but it alludes to the fact that this is some sort of invasion and that you're going to fight back. You are the one proletariat that decided that he had had enough, and he was going to take his ass up to the surface and show him what's what. So with all that being stated, obviously the focus is on being an FPS, so you're going to be facing a lot of enemies. Everything in the level is pretty much trying to kill you. This isn't really much of a story game, this is just an action-packed shoot everything the fuck you see kind of game. Anything coming after your ass, you have a multitude of weapons to shoot them with. You have a Makarov, you have a shotgun, you got some sort of submachine gun, you have some sort of electrobolt like gun, you have a missile launcher, you have grenades. You have what's called a Hussite, like shotgun, which I don't know if you know about the Hussites, but that comes from like the Middle Ages history. But yeah, pretty much everything is trying to kill you, like from rats.
Rats, we are the rats. Celebrate another one, a birthday bash. Michael, it's your birthday.
To these stalker-looking people.
Get out of here, stalker.
You know, the guys with the gas masks and like the trench coats, and they got like, you know, assault rifles. You got these fat fucks that kind of waddle down the street, and they got nightsticks, and they got like a grenade launcher. And they seem to belch and fart every time they move, like, which gives me the impression that, one, they've been like pretty much living high on the hog for the entirety of their life, and they're suffering from a chronic case of diabetes. Yeah, there's these freaky dudes with like environmental suits, like covered head to toe, and like you will shoot them in the face, they will get knocked down and get right the fuck back up and try to kill your ass.
Bourgeoisie skimmed off the top.
There are, like, anywhere you go, there's something there to kill you. Like, there's even the rats. The rats, they have, like, beady red eyes, and he will try to nibble on you. Like, and so, I don't know. Like, everything in this world now tries to kill you. So, the nearest thing that I can piece together as far as a story goes is the fact that, like, I'm under the impression that some sort of a 7-hour war, like from Half-Life, happened, in which case the USSR or Soviet Union, or whatever you want to call it, has been taken over by these like extraterrestrial invaders that have gotten like regular human conscripts to be part of their army. And all these people are deathly loyal to them, and they're going to try to kill you as one of the few remaining survivors, because there's no like other civilians that you can see. There's like various random locations that you can go to that take place in some kind of city. Kladno, I think, is the last one I saw. But there's no regular people walking around. Yeah, it's implying that some sort of normal societal order is taking place when you're not around. But when you're there, everything in the fucking world is, like, you know, hostile to you. It just wants to see you dead. And, like, I don't know, the only, I guess, like, thing that I saw that denoted that there was somebody else other than you is when you look up at the sky, some sort of cosmonaut falls from the sky. It's almost like God's gaping asshole just opened up and shat a guy out, and it happened to be like a space cosmonaut. Even the fucking like sky itself looks fucked up as all hell, so I have no doubts that a nuclear disaster of some sort on biblical proportions has happened. So not to harp on this too much, but I will say that as you continue to play the game, the enemies get a hell of a lot more bizarre. Like, you got these floating heads that look like the heads of like Soviet leaders that have been decapitated, and they got like mini jetpacks on the back of their heads, and they have this weird capability of like shooting 1,000,000 bullets, like 3 like volleys of bullets, like as they fly around. There's this really annoying asshole that pretty much looks like a regular stalker, except he can warp around. In fact, there was a specific like experience I had where I had just gotten out of some sort of sewage complex. I had been wading in nasty ass poo water, and I managed to get up to a factory level, and you know, I'm pretty much like on the like edge of death's door at that point. You know, I had like 1 point of health after getting into a gunfight, and there's like the only health like that you can possibly get in this game comes in 2 forms. Your character apparently really likes skimmed milk. No, not skim milk. Skimmed milk. Like somebody skimmed the cream off the top and gave you the leftovers. And then there's like cans of what's called like blood and fat. And apparently that's like, I guess, nutritional somehow. I guess that's the only nutrition you're gonna get because there's no regular food lying around anymore. Anyway, yeah, so I saw like a line of this along the edge of like, you know, an area, and I decided to collect it all, you know, to try to recoup my losses. And there was like apparently a mini bulldozer off to the side that came to life and ran my ass over and killed me, making me like start the whole way through again. Yeah, here's some footage of that right now.
What? Are you serious? Even the fucking Bobcat fucking mini bulldozer comes to life to kill my ass? What?
Oh, this is some fucking bullshit against Africa, let me tell you. Fuck this game. Playing again. So based on the fact that they, you know, shooting it, it actually tried to follow me into the fucking sewers from whence I came.
What the fuck? No!
Even the fucking pile driver. And he can come in here. He can fucking come in here. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. Holy bejesus. Like, it actually tried to fit its ass through the door when I, like, completed another playthrough. I forgot to mention that each level is considered its own entity, so, like, you pretty much have to beat it. And you can save. Multiple saves are, like, an option, but at the same time, like, level by level, you have to complete the level, alright? This is a level-based game. You don't get much in the way of story. This game's not kind of like that. This is more geared for, like, a run-and-gun action-style gameplay. And it's fun. I will grant you, it is fun, but it's also aggravating as hell when you die like so fast after getting so far and having to do the whole thing over again. Yeah. Something I found interesting is the fact that you can actually find a motorcycle in a couple of levels, and you can actually ride that thing around. Nothing's going on. Okay, you know what? Whatever. I have a motorcycle. Oh, fuck yeah, you can actually drive this thing. You know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna throw all caution to the wind. We're gonna have some fucking fun. Let's see. Yeah! Ow! Okay, apparently can't run people over. I haven't found a way to, like, run over people yet, but apparently it's there if you want it. And it's actually pretty entertaining to, like, drive around levels after you kill all the enemies and just, you know, see how fast you can go. But it's borderline useless insofar as, like, you are defenseless while you're on that thing. You cannot shoot enemies, you can't run their asses over. All you can do is pretty much evade capture, or, like, I should say evade death, because these people don't seem interested in, like, capturing you. They seem more interested in killing your ass for an arbitrary reason or purpose. Maybe you're the only person that's not like them, and they don't like that. So they're gonna make damn sure that they kill you, like, before they go. All of this to say that I haven't actually beaten the game yet. However, I think it's damn fun, and each level honestly just kind of makes me anticipate for what kind of crazy bullshit I'm going to run into next level. I mean, if you want crazy, this is the kind of game for you. If you want like an action-oriented shooter in a retro-style package, like that's a run and gun, very fast-paced, fast-oriented, like high-risk, high-gain sort of ordeal, this is the game for you. And I have to say, like, I actually have a strong affinity towards games that originate from like Eastern Bloc countries like Russia, Ukraine, Czechoslovakia, and various other places like that. I love that shit. And it all started when I started playing Stalker and moved on to Metro, Servarium, and various other titles like it. But, you know, this game, it's not a very pretty game, alright? This is a dystopian, like, you know, USSR era, like, place that you happen to be in. And you must be, like, the unluckiest son of a bitch that I've ever seen in real life. You know, you just... everything that could go wrong will go wrong. I will say, I will warn you, like, right now, that the game has a tendency to pull a lot of Mickey Mouse bullshit on you. As in, anytime that you pick up a key, or you pick up an item, or you flip a switch that happens to be story-related, or hell, even when you pick up a fucking gun, expect the game to, like, pop open a freaking, like, secret, like, you know, passageway, where an arbitrary number of enemies are just gonna pour out and gun you down. Because that's happened to me. Worse yet, there was actually this, like, one solitary enemy that I referred to as Osama bin Laden, because from a distance, he looked kind of like a Russianified, like, Osama bin Laden. Like, he looked like he was wearing a turban. Apparently that's not a turban, but you wouldn't know because you can't get within 5 feet of the son of a bitch before he just blows up in your face. He lets out, like, this weird shrill scream, like, ah! I can't even do it. I'm gonna play, like, a clip right here.
Fuck you, Osama.
I need to get ready for, like, crazy.
Oh, fuck you, Osama.
Anyway, this guy, he carries, like, a barrel over his head and comes over to you and tries to, like, aloha snack bow your ass. And the best thing you can hope for is you gun him down from a distance, because if he gets within 2 feet, he's gonna go boom, and you're gonna die, like, more than likely. What can I say about this? This is just one of the many bizarre enemies. Hell, you even fight a horse wearing a gas mask later. Now, does that sound pretty bizarre? I would say it sounds pretty bizarre. I wouldn't imagine going into a, like, you know, a Slavic game like this and expecting to fight a fucking horse. But, yeah, the horse has stamina. He jumps in the fucking water to get to you.
NANI?! It had to be the fucking force! The horse! The horse! Motherfucker. Why is the horse like a homicidal asshole psychopath? It just, like, rampages out of nowhere and comes after your ass.
Doesn't seem too bright, but at the same time, he's got a lot of stamina and health. So, yeah. Like, hell, in the very beginning of the game, there's, like, this King Kong looking thing that I thought was just part of the scenery. In fact, I was in a locked, like, courtyard where I didn't know where to go. I didn't know if I can just, like, you know, go through the door. I had to go back the way I came to find a switch I missed, or maybe grab a key. I ended up shooting, like, this gorilla that's just stationary there, and the motherfucker comes to life to try to kill my ass. And it's got, like, apparently rocket-propelled grenades shooting out of its freaking, like, you know, forearms. So, yeah. That was quite a revelation to me. Believe me. Here, watch this.
What's that say? Don't gawk.
Okay, fuck you too. Is this thing supposed to help me? Alright, well, I don't like its face, so...
Oh, what the fuck? Whoa! Holy bejesus. Leave me alone, man. Dude, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I was just messing, man. I didn't mean it. Man, King Kong is not fucking around today. Especially when his fucking arms shoot missiles. Oh my god. Oh my god. Where the fuck did these assholes come from? Jesus. What on... Oh my god, Osama bin Laden, you better stay away from me. You better stay the fuck away from me. Alright. So yeah, if you like Russian style, like FPS shooters, and you like FPS shooters in general, and you like that high energy, high octane energy, like sort of run and gun style action, give this game a shot. It's a lot of weirdness, okay? Like, get ready for crazy, because there were a lot of, like, things that I wasn't really expecting, which is what I kind of like about it, but at the same time, when you lose health to something that you didn't fully understand from the get-go, it gets a little bit irritating, you know? I'm gonna be honest with you. There are a lot of moments where the game was just kind of like a labyrinth. I didn't know where the fuck I was going, alright? It felt like I was going through the same passage over and over and over again. Until, you know, you have to be very detail-oriented when you go through these levels. Basically, you have to, like, make sure that you explore every freaking little detail as you go into a room. And hey, things can change. Like, when you flip a switch, or you push a button, or you do anything, like, chances are something might happen, like, somewhere else, and enemies might spawn in. Hell, enemies are going to spawn in regardless. I mean, like, there have been, like, multiple times where I thought I was really close to beating the level, and it turns out I wasn't even halfway there, alright? Like, enemies just started pouring in out of the woodwork, and, yeah, you know, dying, even on normal difficulty, is a normal thing, okay? That's just normal. Alright, if you want easy, like piss easy, you select piss easy, like very easy, because if you select normal, expect to have some aggravating moments. It's not that hard. I can only imagine what very hard would look like. And you know what? Just to put myself through the ringer, I might actually do that one of these days, just to see what it's like, and hate my life every minute of it. So one thing I'm sure you all picked up on, like just from a glance, is that this is not a very graphically advanced game. Alright, these graphics they are made to look that way, so I appreciate them for its aesthetic sort of sense of style. At the same time, everything is dull, like very dull. There ain't a whole lot of color, alright? It is the same gritty, dystopian USSR, like Russian Eastern Bloc, sort of like dread, like for life sort of sense of feel that it conveys to you in its raw emotion and form. And it's a very ugly game, but at the same time, I honestly find it very fascinating, just like playing it and experiencing it, and just what are the motivations of the enemies? Like, what is their deal? What is going on here? Even like the story. I'm honestly piecing together my own sense of story, okay? Because, like, the game doesn't give you a whole lot. It just says, hey, something terrible happened in 1986. Those were dark times. Yeah, they were fucking dark. Like God's anus dark. So, while the graphics might not be the prettiest, the game is very fun to play. And it's available on Steam for about 16, 17 bucks, give or take. That's apparently a promotional price. This game is technically in early development, but I have to say it really plays like a finished product. Maybe updates in the future will bring new features, new enemies, new levels, but so far, in not even having beaten the game, I've been having a really fun time with it, you know? You fight regular enemies, you fight bosses. There ain't a whole lot in story, but what little fragments you do get in exposition are satisfying enough for me. And just the amount of crazy, like, you know, random bullshit that you experience keeps the game fun and entertaining. Like, you never know what's going to happen in the next level. And new revelations will just kind of spring upon you, like, as you experience them. But hey, so if you're, like, in the mood for something a little bit experimental, maybe something new, something fresh, something retro, why don't you go pick up HROT sometime today, or in the next few days. After February 5th, that's when the promotional price goes away, and it turns back into being $22 or something like that. Not a big price difference, but enough that, you know, saving a couple extra dollars, especially during these times, might be worth every penny. So, hey, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm going to go ahead and for the remainder of this video, I'm going to roll my personal, like, you know, gameplay and experiences, like, you know, playing the game. I'll try to cut out, like, the redundant parts and put some video editing to make it look a little bit more fresh, but it's just going to be a summarization of everything I've experienced so far. So if you don't like spoilers, maybe you should stop the video right here, but, you know, if you want to see what the game has in store for you, hey, why don't you just keep watching?
Anyway, this is TujoPanda taking off. Till next time, guys, take care and peace. I hope you have a better one.
In the small socialist country neighboring the Soviet Union, Czechoslovakia faces the aftermath of an unspecified disaster in the year of our great nation, 1986. These are dark and terrifying times. As a proud holder of your military readiness badge and member of the Proletariat Workers' Party, you know what your duty is. To put on your non-functioning gas mask, load your VZ-52 pistol, and restore the peace and prosperity of your socialist homeland from these strange invaders. It is your sworn duty to uphold the virtues of communism everywhere. Good luck, comrade. Kiss me, Gustav.
полоса в истории России. И данная Третья русская революция должна будет в своем конечном итоге привести к победе социализма.